Finals MVP. The other two, Jordan and Olajuwon.
Pass to Parker. Duncan with a screen on Curry. Aldridge a screen. And Parker, here we go. 4 on the shot clock. Really left alone that time. Green's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Leonard's got his first bucket of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Plays it up and banks it in.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That's his first foul. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Green. Misses the layup.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
On its way from Curry for 2. And the shot falls short this time.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
From deep, Green. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that matchup.
Right on target you are, Greg. I mean, the quick release is what made the difference there. Any hesitation, and that shot is being blocked.
Here's Green following the three-pointer by San Antonio. Outside Curry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tips it. It's rebounded by Aldridge. San Antonio leading by 4. Parker dishes to Leonard. Green the screen. Barnes against Leonard. From 13, again the Spurs good for 2.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
The Oracle Arena was rocking last season, and with good reason. The Warriors would finish a league best 39-2 at home last year.
And how about that 39-2 record put them 1 off of tying the best record ever in the NBA. That record, by the way, belongs to the Celtics with 40 wins back in 1986.
Now here's Duncan following the miss by Draymond Green. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Parker outside, launches a 3. Draymond Green pulls it in. Warriors trail by 6. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
It's Curry outside. The offensive rebound. Here's Barnes. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Draymond Green. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Mills can't hit.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the defense has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull that trigger. He's got to be in his face and not give him any space.
And you can see, Clark, that he has garnered the attention of the defense here. They are not going to allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Mazzili's checked in for Harrison Barnes. The Warriors have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
Right there, West used that ample frame of his to open up space for the shooter. Solid screen.
Livingston passes to Barbosa. And Leandro Barbosa gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
And guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out, and fortunately for me, I don't have it.
Now here's West. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Back to Mills. The Spurs could have used his contributions last year. Parker was hobbled. Corey Joseph was still learning. Mills didn't put together consistent efforts and ended up losing minutes, Clark, because of it.
Yeah, you know, Mills had the opportunity to make an impact for a championship contender. That chance doesn't come very often. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the most of it.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team. Actually, the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting five a lot last year.
Azili. They shoot again, and the layup is good.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And Mills kicks it to West. And the rejection by Azili. Pass to Spates. The rebound by Anderson.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And Tim Duncan closing in on 2 decades in the league. He talked about his continued love of the game.
The games are my solace. I enjoy playing the games.
Well, Duncan breaking down his love for the game and what keeps him going, not just playing, but still enjoying it at his age.
Man, it's phenomenal to see because Tim Duncan doesn't usually get too introspective with us. Anybody that plays this game knows exactly what he's talking about. And at the level he's competing currently, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
Livingston is out there with Ian Clark. Then there's Maurice Spates. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Rush in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter. Livingston kicks to Iguodala. The kick out to Spates. That falls. Nice speed that time from Andre Iguodala.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take him long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
Diaw, the screen. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. Can't make good off the screen.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Ginobili attacking. Here's Leonard. Score the basket, his 3rd after 5 shots.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. San Antonio also making some changes. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for West. Green comes in for Boris Diaw. And Parker's subbed in for Patty Mills. Bogut kicks to Green. Tries yet again. But they recover it. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
The lead pushed to double digits. Parker's got his first 3 points of the game. Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Curry attacking. Good. Curry's got his second bucket tonight.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Just his first attempt. And Aldridge the basket on the assist from Green. Aldridge has got the lead up to 13 now for the Spurs. Curry outside. No good. Excellent D there from Parker.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And there's the feed to Leonard. No good from outside. Golden State's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them.
Well, I tell you what, that's fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. The key there was not to give him much space before he took that shot.
And really, Clark, that's the only way you're going to stop him. The defender was all over him with a hand right in his face. And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Green dishes to Parker. Sinks the triple. Parker's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Adding to their lead, and you see that field goal percentage for the game steadily heading north.
Again, Curry missing. Here's San Antonio. They're on a 20-7 run. It's deflected. And Thompson kicks to Curry. Back to Thompson. Golden State moving it around. And here's Green outside. Spurs leading by 18. Parker outside. He dishes it to Leonard. 18 feet out. They get it back. Ginobili can't hit. The Warriors shooting 27%. The offense is just embarrassing themselves. Curry passes to Green. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Green's got his first bucket in this one.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
Parker kicks to Leonard. To the inside. Aldridge's shot is good.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Warriors trail by 18. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Go. And Steph Curry, 6'3" and about 195. I mean, a slender frame. You look back to high school and college, and that was one of the question marks. Did he have the strength to succeed?
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Razili's checked in for Bogut. Spates comes in for Green. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. And speaking of Curry's slight build, he's worked out and bulked himself. He's added some muscle. He even got up to 200 pounds, I think he said. But he didn't feel real good, Clark, at that weight.
Yeah, it's not about the weight, Kevin. It's about strength. You need it to fight through screens and attack the rim. And he's clearly put on the strength he needs to play at his highest level.
And the Warriors making a change here. Clark's checked in. And Anderson kicks to Mills. Duncan dishes to Martin. Feeds it to Mills. Anderson outside. Duncan, a screen. It's Anderson with the drive. That does not fall. Still looking for his first basket after 3 shots. Lets it fly from 18. But he stays with it. Kicks it out to Iguodala. A 3-ball. And he gets it to go. Now Martin. Mills in the corner. Shoots the 3. Can't get it to go. Iguodala. No good. And so we conclude the first half. Spurs.
Yes, Kevin, here with Stephen Curry.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of one, they were able to end up. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the team.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Some fantastic numbers here for Green. He's got 8 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
On the floor for San Antonio, defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Parker in at the one. Spurs leading by 15. Leonard kicks to Parker. Six to shoot, and the wide open shot from Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 5 assists in the game.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And Duncan throws it down.
And the lead smaller. Just an incredibly well-rounded performance here on the road.
And how good a feeling is that for this team to dominate the way they did in front of a hostile crowd? That is a satisfying feeling for the victors.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Parker kicks to Aldridge. The pass to Green. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent that the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
Here's Curry with the three. Another miss by Curry.
Still a bit chilly from the field at the start of this third quarter. 1 of 4 so far.
Green kicks to Duncan. Parker with it. Picked up by Thompson. Aldridge against Green. Aldridge. Good. Aldridge has got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots. And that's his second triple of the half. None for him going into the break.
Parker passes to Leonard. Duncan outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Warriors with the rebound. It's stolen by Duncan. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up, and Green slams it in.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
And that one's good.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Parker outside, and it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. Brandon Rush He's checked in for the Warriors. Then for the Spurs, DL comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Leonard. Here's Parker. He has 6. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That is his first foul of the game. Different look here for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Green. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. San Antonio also making some changes. West is checked in for Aldridge. Martin comes in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
Mills, that's a two-pointer. Shot is off. And Golden State will go the other way with it. It's tipped. Livingston dishes to Iguodala. On its way from Barbosa for 2. And too long on the shot.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Well, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Diaw, the screen. And here's Mills. Pass to Diaw. 6 to shoot. Mills can't hit.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Barbosa with it, and a wide-open look for Iguodala. Jacks up a 3. Again, Iguodala missing. Spurs leading by 23. Here's Martin. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Ezeli gets the bucket. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. There's the bucket. Good.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
For 3, Barbosa. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Yeah, they certainly have been. You'd like to knock down that first one, but if you don't, then a second shot is the next best thing.
Mills. And it's San Antonio with another.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Not many empty trips for this group. It seems everything's falling for them this half.
Kicks it out to Iguodala. Here's the 3. And the rebound goes to Martin. Barbosa passes to Rush. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. He's drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on David West. The Warriors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. He hits the second from the line. One second left. Off target. Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. The Warriors shooting just 31% in the game. The Splash Brothers are the guards. Barnes and Green are the forward set. And it's Spates in at the pivot spot manning the middle. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Barnes against Parker. No good. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. It's Curry outside. Another miss by Curry.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no line in those totals. Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball. You know, as soon as that shot goes up, you got to start boxing out then, before it hits the rim. They're getting beaten up on that glass.
And if they can eliminate those second chance points, obviously easier said than done, then they're going to have an opportunity in this game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Farajao comes in for Draymond Green. And Ian Clark subbed in for Klay Thompson. That free throw good from Anderson. And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014. But he spent pretty much the entire season on the pond.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Now the dish to Anderson. Here's Green. To the wing right side. Aldridge a screen. 5 on the clock. Mills dishes to Anderson. He tries for 3, and the shot is good.
Putting you in. You know, talking about Kyle Anderson, he's a bit of a polarizing prospect, has a multifaceted skill set. I mean, excellent court vision, outstanding length, doesn't have elite athleticism, absolutely needs to get stronger, but he's got a lot of game.
Some changes for Golden State. Festus Ezeli comes in for Barnes, and it's Barbosa in for Curry. From deep, Iguodala. Rebound, San Antonio. Aldridge has got 8 rebounds in this game.
Striping him from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half, still bageled in the second.
And guys, getting back to Kyle Anderson, not a fit for every system. I mean, he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he's much more of a facilitator than a finisher at this stage.
Here's Ezeli. Here's Spates. Drops in the layup for 2.
Off his feet and drive right around him.
San Antonio leading by 20. That is his first foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Looked to me like just a frustration foul. It really kind of sums up the game they're having in general.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Andrew Bogut. He's checked in for Festus Ezeli. Draymond Green comes in for Maurice Spates. And it's Livingston in for Leandro Barbosa.
Only their first turnover of the game, taking terrific care of the basketball.
And that's one more key to their lead, guys. I mean, they're creating opportunities for each other and not the other team.
Kept alive. Iguodala, the pass to Bogut. Golden State moving it around. Got a piece of it. Leonard with the steal. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Here's Green. The stupendous finish in traffic. Green's got 12 points here in the second half. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Screen by Duncan. And Mills kicks to Duncan. Here's Leonard. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. And that's now 8 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Dishes it to Mills. Outside Leonard. He kicks to Aldridge. Baseline try. Another one falls for San Antonio.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
And Mills kicks to Leonard. Aldridge dishes to Mills. Aldridge a screen. Shot's good by Mills.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Outside, Green. He feeds it to Duncan. Now, here's Mills. Tight defense on him, and he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, with the game out of reach, intentional fouls don't mean anything. It's just an exercise in futility. Let the clock go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clark. Just doesn't really make a lot of sense at this point.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Barnes, he's checked in for Iguodala. Thompson comes in for Ian Clark. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Duncan with the screen for Miller. Kicks to Green. Pass to Duncan. From the baseline. And good as it just snugs right down through the net.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
Miller outside. And Diaw kicks to Duncan and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And guys, Tim Duncan still dominant after 18 years. You know, he's reshaped his body. He has gotten a brand new diet, which he says has had a huge benefit. We saw it in the playoffs last year, Greg. I think, you know, he probably was one of the top 5 overall performers in last year's playoffs.
No doubt about it. We continue to write this guy off, Kevin, and he just continues to defy Father Time. I mean, there was a point where he was starting to feel the wear and tear, especially in his knees, but being the competitor he is, he decided to dictate to his body rather than letting his body dictate to him.
Ginobili gets a wide open look. Duncan. It's good on the putback.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quiet.
And there's not a whole lot for them to be cheering about anymore. I mean, their guys got it handed to them.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. This crowd was